I started thinking about going on the church plant last fall. When they originally announced they were going to Ohio in 2020, I remember quickly thinking like, oh, that's not for me. Like, honestly, what I was kind of waiting for is like, once they announced like a cool vacation city that they were gonna plant at, then I would like put my yes on the table. But there was a message that Mark Vance spoke at Cornerstone, and the main thing that stuck out to me was like, you can't follow Christ and be comfortable at the same time. If I looked at my life and like evaluated like, are there non-believers that like are coming to see the glory of Jesus because of what I'm doing, like it was a no. And so I remember getting in my car after that message and just thinking like, well, looks like I'm going to Ohio. But I was still gonna like sit in the maybe once I can fill in the blanks, like maybe once I have a job, like that will be an open door, like a clear yes from God. Like I'll keep praying on it, like just this timid little yes. But was processing that with my roommate Hannah Beth at the time, and she challenged me by saying, what would God do with like your active obedience? Like who might come, or like what might he do inside of you by you saying yes now instead of like giving him a timid yes. And so shortly after that, then I filled out my commitment form. And then at a launch team meeting, Harrison said something about like, you know, when we're on campus, like blah, blah, blah. But for those of you who are working, like the expectation will be different. And I was just like thinking about what will my life be like when I'm coming home from my job at 5 p.m. and like, if I were gonna go to campus, wait a minute, what if my job was on campus? And so just at that point, like, felt really excited about the thought of a job at the university. And it's like, if we're praying for a love of the college, and if I'm like moving my life to like love college students, why not try to work there? When I was first deciding if I wanted to come to Columbus or not, I was talking to Luke about the potential of leading a campus group of college girls. And it was really exciting to think about getting to set the culture in a new place. And it's been the most encouraging thing about being here. It can feel tiring some weeks, driving around for 40 minutes before Salt Company and picking them up. But what feels really worth it is I'm doing practical things that can actually like bring them to a place where they hear the gospel for the first time, and it makes it feel really worth my time and the move here. Hi. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. How was your weekend?
It was good. I didn't do much, but I have one more final this week. So I'm excited about that. Thanks for coming. My voice was Justice.
As I was evaluating, like, should I go on this church plant or not, I was thinking about, like, what could different routes forward be? It could be, like, me pursuing a new job somewhere, or, like, I don't even know what you would move for, but what feels the most purposeful is to, like, leverage my life so that more people can know Jesus, and, like, getting to see God actually bless that has been really sweet, and it feels very clear to me that, like, what has happened in my campus group is not at all because of what my co-leader and I have done. Like, we literally just show up and give them rides to church so that they can hear the gospel. And I just feel so, like, low energy. Like, I have such low capacity because of this transition that, like, clearly it's God doing something. Clearly it's God, like, convicting and softening their hearts. And what I feel like is a good metaphor for what church planting has been is, like, I am a jar of clay. I'm very common, normal, but like what is inside of me is like really beautiful, and that's Jesus. And yeah, I think that's been one of the most like purposeful and rewarding parts of being on this church plant. Honestly, I think that church planting takes a ton of time and energy that I don't even have within myself. There's been so many times where I'm like, I come home from a full day at the office come eat dinner real quick, then go back to campus for another couple hours for the night, come back home, go straight to bed, wake up for my next group at 6 in the morning, then go straight to work. And it's like in those moments where I'm driving to those different places that it's like, I have nothing left in me. Like, God, you are going to have to like give me any intelligible words or like give me any questions or like gospel truth that you're gonna have to be the one doing that, because I don't have anything left in me. And a couple weeks into campus group, I was just pretty sure no one was gonna show. I was just like, they don't want to come to group anymore, like, and there was nothing I could do to compel them to come. And so I just spent the afternoon in prayer, like, God, you know, they really don't have a great reason to keep coming back, but would you compel them to come to group, and would they hear the gospel clearly preached? And I think it was like a full group that night, and just like a lot of the level of friendship felt like very genuine that night. And yeah, that was just like a practical answer to prayer that I definitely couldn't have like gotten them to come there or anything. So this is my office. I work for the Ohio State University. Moved to Columbus about 5 months ago and started this job about a month after that. It's kind of funny because the building that we work in is actually right across the street from where Salt Company / the church meets in a theater. But I'm working for the university on a marketing team for the College of Nursing, and yeah, I've just been really loving it, and just getting to be close to campus has been cool too. Leaving to come on this church plant meant leaving a lot of deep friendships, community that I built up, and a lot of comfort. And I don't even think I realized like the level of comfort that I was leaving at that point. It was just like, oh, Ames is nice, but like I'm ready to go do the next thing. But once I got into a completely new environment where I couldn't navigate anywhere, I didn't know anybody, like just everything it's a little disorienting to make that big of a life transition. And like even a couple months into being here, I just like felt really sad, and even just like leaving my little brother felt really sad. But I don't think that Jesus offers like a good job as like the best dream, or like deep relationships as the best dream. Like at the end of my life, the only thing that will matter is like, did people come to know Jesus because of how I like made decisions? And so that's like what feels most worth it, and that's the thing that makes me feel like, yeah, this was totally the right move. Like it's okay to be sad about those things. It's okay to be intimidated by that. Like it takes sacrifice, but Jesus has offered is way more worth it. It's a privilege to get to watch girls in my group discover Jesus for the first time. And anytime I feel like I've sacrificed something to be obedient to God, he's been way kinder than like the level that he's like blessed me back is like way higher than what I've given up.
Yeah, so it's like, oh, great, good call, good call. So let's do it together. So we go 1, 2, 3, on 1. Sorry, let's try it again. That's my fault. 1, 2, 3, 4.
He has chosen you here in this city, across the street from this campus, to be a part of his plan, whatever he's trying to accomplish this morning. We're asking him to accomplish significant things. You play an irreplaceable role for God to accomplish that. So we want you to, one, feel the weight that you're actually playing a significant role in life change that could affect eternity. And you're also not that important at the same time. So we want you to feel both confidence in who you are, how you've been created, and also the weight of this matters, what we're doing here. It absolutely matters. People far from God and close to God, both in our city and on the campus, are going to roll in here this morning with all kinds of different weeks, all kinds of different expectations. We have an opportunity to step into that space, to do everything we can to introduce them to Jesus, to introduce them to a community that loves them, regardless of their story, wherever they're at in their journey, and love them and point them to Jesus. That is a weighty thing, and we're excited to have that opportunity. here this morning, and so we're going to do it. And we're gonna
So on Sunday mornings, I get here at 8:45, and I normally serve on the experience team. And so then we all gather in one of the theaters and pray just over the morning, over who's teaching and who's coming in the doors. And then we set out these connect cards where they get more info about how to get plugged in. And then, we basically just go wait in the lobby until everybody starts coming in the doors. And our main goal is to have like actual conversations with people rather than just like, hi, welcome to church. And we want to have like real connections with them. So. At the Capital Church, two of the different groups that we have are Power Hour and City Group. City Group is basically supposed to be like an easy entry point for people you're inviting into the church. We have dinner together every week and then have some pretty easy talking points. Luke's vision for it is that it would be the group you would call if you were stranded on the side of the road, or basically the people in your life that like band together and help you out. City Group has been a helpful part in church plant transition because it's a bunch of other people that have moved out here to do the same exact thing. And even when we all first got here, it was like, we all feel like, different parts of transition have been hard. And it was just really helpful to have people in it with you and have like normal friendships and to, see what God has been doing. But also to see like non-believers come into that setting has been just so exciting. And it's like an easier invite sometimes to bring them into a small group like that rather than like, hey, do you want to come to a Sunday church with me? It's like, hey, do you want to come hang out with like me and like 15 other people and have dinner? So it's been, just a different part of the Capitol that I think is a different way to love people well.
All right, everybody, it's time for dinner. All right, let me pray, and then we can eat. Father, thank you for this food. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen. That's classic. Church planting has felt very worth it because of what God has done in and through me. I would say it's like a sanctification microwave. Like the level of health that I feel between me and God, like I didn't have when I was super comfortable. There's just a different level of like, I don't have the capacity or the capability to like keep up at this pace on my own. Like, I think that perseverance is definitely like a necessary part of church planting. Perseverance because of what is at the end of it. Perseverance because it's worth it. And I hope that what people hear from this story isn't that church planting's hard and it takes a lot of sacrifice. I hope what they hear is that the things that you are actually going to leave behind like are so dull in comparison to the way that you will see Jesus more clearly and the way that others will discover him for the first time. And that makes it totally worth it because Jesus is worth it.